Let's talk about something many people experience but few feel comfortable discussing openly: wet dreams and unwanted erections. These phenomena are as natural as breathing, yet they're often shrouded in silence, confusion, or even shame. Whether you're a teenager navigating puberty, an adult reflecting on past experiences, or someone supporting a loved one through these changes, understanding the science and emotions behind these bodily responses is crucial. This conversation isn't just about biology, it's about dismantling stigma, fostering self-compassion, and embracing the messy, human reality of growing into our bodies. Wet dreams, or nocturnal emissions, are involuntary ejaculations that occur during sleep, typically during puberty but sometimes beyond. They're part of the body's way of managing the surge of hormones that accompany adolescence. Testosterone, the primary male sex hormone, increases dramatically during this time, triggering physical changes like deepening voices, muscle growth, and the development of sexual functions. For many, wet dreams are the body's release valve for semen that has accumulated in the reproductive system. It's a purely mechanical process, not a reflection of thoughts, desires, or moral character. Imagine your body as a vessel. When it reaches capacity, it naturally overflows. That's all a wet dream is: an overflow, nothing more. Unwanted erections, on the other hand, can happen at any time: during class, at the gym, or in a quiet moment of reading. They're governed by the autonomic nervous system, which controls involuntary functions like heartbeat and digestion. This means erections aren't always a conscious response to arousal. They can be sparked by friction from clothing, a full bladder, or even random fluctuations in blood flow. The brain and body are in constant communication, and sometimes wires get crossed. A breeze, a thought, or a memory can trigger a response that feels inconvenient or embarrassing. But here's the key: an erection isn't a billboard announcing your private thoughts. It's a biological reaction, as neutral as a sneeze. Yet, despite their normalcy, these experiences can feel isolating. Imagine a teenager waking up to stained sheets, terrified someone might find out. Or a young adult in a crowded room, paralyzed by the fear of an untimely erection. The shame isn't just about the body, it's about the stories we tell ourselves. Am I weird? Do others notice? Is something wrong with me? These questions fester in the absence of open dialogue. Society often treats puberty and sexual development as punchlines or secrets, leaving individuals to navigate these changes alone. But silence breeds misunderstanding. When we don't talk about wet dreams or erections, we inadvertently reinforce the idea that they're shameful or abnormal. Let's dismantle that myth. Studies suggest that nearly all men experience nocturnal emissions at some point, with frequency peaking in adolescence. Unwanted erections are equally common. Think of them as the body's way of testing the equipment, ensuring everything functions as it should. They're like random system checks your body runs without your permission. And while they might feel intrusive, they're a sign of healthy physiology. The problem isn't the body's response, it's the cultural baggage we attach to it. So, how do we manage these experiences without letting them overshadow our lives? First, knowledge is power. Understanding the why asterisk behind wet dreams and erections can demystify them. For instance, nocturnal emissions often occur during REM sleep, when brain activity is high, and the body's inhibitory mechanisms are relaxed. This doesn't mean you're dreaming about sex, it's simply a phase of sleep where the body's systems, including the reproductive system, are active. Similarly, unwanted erections can be managed with practical strategies: adjusting your posture, shifting your focus, or using a bag or jacket to discreetly cover the area. The goal isn't to suppress these responses, they're involuntary, but to navigate them with grace. Emotionally, it's vital to practice self-compassion. Imagine comforting a friend who confides in you about these issues. You'd likely respond with empathy, not judgment. Extend that same kindness to yourself. Wet dreams and erections aren't failures or flaws, they're part of the human experience. If anxiety persists, consider talking to a trusted adult, counselor, or healthcare provider. You're not burdening them, you're seeking support, which is a sign of strength, not weakness. Hygiene is another practical consideration. After a wet dream, simply showering and changing bedding can restore a sense of control. Keeping a spare set of clothes or a towel nearby might ease anxiety for those who experience frequent emissions. For unwanted erections, wearing looser clothing or layered outfits can minimize friction and provide coverage if needed. These small adjustments aren't about hiding, they're about empowering yourself to move through the world with confidence. It's also worth addressing the myths that amplify shame. One pervasive myth is that wet dreams result from impure thoughts or excessive sexual desire. This is false. Nocturnal emissions are hormonally driven, not morally charged. Another myth is that frequent erections indicate hypersexuality. In reality, they're often unrelated to arousal. Even non-sexual stimuli, like stress or a full bladder, can trigger them. Dispelling these myths is critical. When we conflate biology with morality, we create unnecessary guilt. Your body's functions don't define your character. For those supporting someone through these experiences, parents, teachers, friends, the best approach is empathy paired with education. Avoid dismissive phrases like, "It's just a phase," or, "Don't worry about it." Instead, validate their feelings. "I know this might feel awkward, but it's completely normal. Let's talk about how I can support you." Providing resources, books, reputable websites, or access to a healthcare provider can empower them with information. Remember, your reaction sets the tone. If you treat the topic with discomfort, they'll internalize that shame. If you approach it with calm openness, you help normalize their experience. In rare cases, frequent wet dreams or persistent unwanted erections might signal an underlying issue. If nocturnal emissions cause pain, disrupt sleep, or continue well into adulthood, consulting a healthcare provider is wise. Similarly, if erections are accompanied by discomfort or occur without any discernible trigger, a medical evaluation can rule out conditions like hormonal imbalances or circulatory problems. But these instances are exceptions, not the norm. For most people, these experiences are harmless, if inconvenient, parts of life. Ultimately, this conversation is about reclaiming agency. Our bodies will do what they're wired to do, but we control the narrative. Instead of viewing wet dreams or erections as enemies, we can see them as reminders of our shared humanity. Every person with a penis has faced these moments. Some laugh about it later, others cringe, but all survive. The more we talk openly, the more we chip away at the stigma. Imagine a world where no one loses sleep over a natural bodily function, where no teenager feels alone in their confusion. That world starts with conversations like this one. So, let's close with a challenge. The next time you encounter someone struggling with these issues, or if you're struggling yourself, offer kindness instead of judgment. Replace shame with science, isolation with understanding. Our bodies are incredible, complex, and occasionally unpredictable. That's not a flaw. It's a testament to life's vitality. Wet dreams and unwanted erections aren't curses to endure. They're proof that your body is alive, growing, and functioning as nature intended. And that's nothing to be ashamed of.